The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam praised him, and even the Quran mentioned Abraham, or our grandfather, the Prophet Abraham, more than 70 times. There is a full chapter in the Quran called Ibrahim. According to statistics, or according to the major religions all over the world, the main major religions, all of main religion, they are respected our grandfather, the Prophet Abraham. All of the main major religions, even Hinduism, they have their creator is God. They call him Brahma, or they call it him the name which is taken from the Prophet Abraham. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the Holy Quran, there is a full chapter called Abraham, and in the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the Prophet Abraham more than 70 times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described him as Ummah. Inna Ibrahim kana ummatan. That the Prophet Abraham, our grandfather Abraham, was a nation, was a community, was an imam, was a leader, as according to the Quran. And we are Muslims, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the only prophet that we are asked and commanded to look up for guidance is the Prophet Abraham. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, قَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ فِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ. That the Prophet Abraham, he was a good example for you to follow for guidance.
قَدْ كَانَتْ لَكُمْ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ فِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَالَّذِينَ مَعَهُ.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. There has already been for you an excellent pattern in Abraham and those with him.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only prophet among the whole previous prophets. That we are Muslims, we must believe in all of them, but among all of these previous prophets, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the Ummah and commanded the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to look up to Ibrahim for guidance. قَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ فِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ. That the Prophet Abraham is a good example for taking him as a guidance. We need to take some lessons from the life of the Prophet Abraham, and because, as we just said, that every rites in al-Hajj commemorate things and actions happened or took place during the life of the Prophet Abraham and the Prophet Ismail, his son Ismail. That's why if we just look at the life of the Prophet Abraham, he was born at that time that he was born, the idol worshippers was spread among the whole world. And no one among his community or society at that time was worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided him for monotheism, for a tawheed, for monotheism message, for the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And until then, he asked to call his people and his society. He knew from the beginning that the worshipping or idols worshippers neither benefits or harm them. That worshipping stones and rocks will have no benefit among them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided him. There is a creator who creates that universe. That's why he started preaching his society. But before he preached his society, he preached his father. And the Quran, to see how the Prophet Abraham was talking to his father, was preaching his father to the message of the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a very gentle manner, as the Quran always told us and ordered us to preach bil-hikmati wal-maw'izati al-hasana, to preach others to Islam or to any messages in a good way. The Prophet Abraham told his father that, well, because he was worshipping the idols, he said that, Ya abati, in different verses in the Holy Quran, oh my dear fathers, he starts saying that in the chapter of Mary, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling the story of Abraham, while he was debating, while he was discussing with his fathers, every time he said that, oh my father, oh my dear fathers, why you worship these idols, it neither benefits or harm you. يا أبتي لما تعبد ما لا يسمع ولا يبصر ولا يغني عنك شيئا. Oh my dear fathers, why you are worshipping the sun? يا أبتي لما تعبد الشيطان. Oh my father, oh my dear fathers, يا أبتي إني أخاف أن يمسك عذاب من الرحمن فتكون للشيطان وليا. And he still and carry on continuing and preaching and debating with his fathers in a very gentle manners. Though his fathers couldn't accept the da'wah, couldn't accept this message, and he answered him in a very rough way. He said that قال أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم. And later in the same verse he said that وَهْجُرْنِي مَلِيًّا. So the father asked Abraham, or the father of Abraham, during or after a long time of debating and the preaching him in a wise and gentle manners and in such a very beautiful attitudes and the behaviors, he said that قال أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم. Are you, how dare you that you don't like or you dislike our idols? قال أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم لئن لم تنتهي لأرجمنك واهجرني مليا. So he asked him to leave him for a time. That's why from that time, while he was a teenager, the Prophet Abraham, after his father refused to listen to him, if you just look and mediate the verses of the Holy Quran, what was the answer of the Prophet Abraham after his fathers asked him to leave him? He said that قال سلام عليك سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفيا. He says that peace be upon you, O my fathers. I will pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for your guidance. The Prophet Abraham, or our grandfather Abraham, after his father refused to listen to his messages, he started to preach his society in large. But the way of preaching his society and his community in large, that way was really very logic methods. The Quran, if we just mediate the verses of the Holy Quran, which told us, or which tells us about the debating of our grandfather Abraham, while he was discussing it with his society, the Quran says that وَكَذَلِكَ نُرِيَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مَلَكُوتِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلِيَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُوقِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows the Prophet Abraham that worshipping idol worshipper or worshipping the stars and the signs that his society used to worship is totally fake and totally untrue. That's why he started, the Quran continues to tell us how the Prophet Abraham preached his family. The next verse in the Quran says that فَلَمَّا جَنَّ عَلَيْهِ اللَّيْلُ رَأَى كَوْكَبًا قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ قَالَ لَا أُحِبُّ الْآفِلِينَ. The Prophet Abraham waited till the night covered with the darkness, and then the stars that they used to worship them, that his society used to worship them, appear in the sky. And he said that is this your Lord? You're just asking them and saying that in ironic way. And then once it disappeared, he just would like to show them in a very logic way that it can't be a God that it appear and then disappear. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ, when it disappear, when the stars disappear with the break of the dawn, or with the break of the dawn at the beginning of the day, he told them that it can't be the Creator. It can't be the God to worship. It doesn't deserve to be worshipped. Then the Quran continues saying how the Prophet Abraham proved to them one by one that what they are doing is totally untrue. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الْقَمَرَ بَازِغًا قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي. Once he saw the moon rising, so he told them that is that the God that you worship? He just would like to convince them, to persuade them it cannot be a creator. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الْقَمَرَ بَازِغًا. Once he saw a moon appear in the sky, and he knew that his society and community used to worship that moon, he said that, is that your creator? Is that your God that you worship him? Once it disappeared, he said that, oh my God. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide him to the right path. And later on, he's still debating with his society. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ بَازِغًا. Once he saw the sun, and he still continued debating his community, because he knew that his community and society and his people used to worship the sun as well and consider it as a god for them. So the Prophet Abraham would like again to convince and persuade them it can't be a creator. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ بَازِغًا. Once he saw the sun rises, he said, this is bigger. This is bigger than the stars, and this is bigger than the moon. Is this your Lord that you mean that it should be deserved to be worshipped? Once the sun disappeared, he said that, قَالَ إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِّمَّا تُشْرِكُونَ. He said that I'm not one of this who take a partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he said that إِنِّي وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. That I submit totally to the one who creates all of this universe, to the one who creates the sun, to the one who creates the moon and the stars. And in a very convinced way and persuasive way, he told his society and his community that these idol worshippers, whether that you worship rocks or idols, whether you are worshiping the planets or the stars or the sky in the sky, or the moon or the sun, there is a creator of all of such things that must and deserve it to be worshipped.
Created the plants and trees. He created the birds and bees. He created the oceans and seas, some of his many bounties.
More lessons that we can learn from the life of the Prophet Abraham. Dear respected viewers, wait us for the next episode of your program Revelations. Peace. Salamullahi alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.